Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm talking with Belal Muhammad. Remember the name, he is fighting at UFC Utica. And I can't actually now remember the name of your new opponent. Chance something, right? Rencountre something? What's going on with this?
Yeah, it's crazy. I was sitting there the last couple of weeks, and I found out last week that Niko was injured.
Yeah.
And they said they were looking for somebody else. But then, reporters reported that Niko was hurt, and then they're searching for somebody else. And then Niko was, commenting on people's stuff saying, I'm not injured. I don't know what these people are talking about. So then I was thinking, what the heck's going on? So then I messaged my manager. My manager's like, wait, what? UFC said they're looking for somebody. Right. But, Niko's commenting on everybody's stuff on Twitter saying, yeah, you reporters are going to regret this. You guys are going to look stupid. And then they announced the new guy, but I didn't get no contract yet. And then Niko commented again on the last post saying, you guys are going to look so dumb when it's fight day and I'm in the cage. And I was like, yeah, what's going on here? But then I finally got a contract, so I'm pretty sure I'm fighting a Chance.
All right, yeah. And it's weird because if it's not an injury, then it's almost more suspect if you get pulled from a fight, right? So if I'm him, I'm saying I hurt my leg or something. Yeah. What is it then?
Yeah. It's funny because he actually messaged me on Facebook yesterday. Once I got my contract, he messaged me, Niko, and he said, hey, just want to let you know that New York didn't approve me to fight. The Athletic Commission didn't approve him. So I don't know what it was, but he said, just want to let you know, man, sorry, bro. I know that's hard to just switch opponent that second, but I'm ready to fight. Just New York wouldn't let me fight. So I was like, it's all good. It's the fight business, I guess.
Does he have implants? Because if you disclose him, you can't fight in New York. If you don't disclose him, we all pretend we don't know what's up.
He's one of those guys that get calf implants, so it's even probably weird.
Nice. Well, listen, it's funny. I know that I'm assuming you wanted to fight on the Chicago card. You got Utica. It's kind of close. But how come that didn't work out for you?
Yeah, I was hoping to get on the Chicago card, but then they ended up calling me and saying, well, do you mind fighting in Utica?
Right.
And I said, it doesn't matter to me. I'm ready to fight anywhere. But then I think it worked out for the best, honestly, because literally when I was telling everybody I'm getting on the Chicago card course, they were like, I was probably having 50 people. Hey, so can I get free tickets? Can I get this? Hey, where are you going to eat the day before? And I'm like, dude, no, you guys never go to any one of my fights. If you aren't with when I was fighting in Hidalgo, Texas, don't ask me to come to my fights in Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it worked out for the best that I don't have to deal with all that stress.
Cool. Well, very cool. And so I got to ask, so obviously you're still part of Duke Roufus' team and everything, right? Yeah,
of course.
Very cool. So what do you guys do now, right? When you get the notice that you have a totally different opponent, do you go and try to look at tape of this guy? Do you try to change anything? Because I don't know if this person's totally different than Niko would be. So what did you guys do when you all got together and found out the news?
It's honestly one of those where I'm not a big game planner. I'm not one of those guys that sits there and focuses on my opponent, training for my opponent. It's martial arts, so you never know what's going to happen until you get in the cage because you have to adapt. It's all about adaptation and figuring out what happens once you're in there, once you get punched, once you figure out if your guy's going to try to wrestle you or not. Mm-hmm. So that's what my whole game is about, adapting, see how I feel in the cage. So it really had nothing to do with who was in front of me. I was going to come with the same game plan anywhere because I feel like I could strike with strikers, grapple with grapplers, wrestle with wrestlers. So it really doesn't matter to me where the fight goes and who the opponent is. It's just about me getting better myself. So my coaches will sit there and watch the new guy. They'll tell me little things here or there of it, but it's not like, all right, we got this guy takes 5 jabs every 5 minutes or something weird like that. I'm not one of those guys. So it really didn't make a big difference.
Yeah, and it's funny because you and Niko actually had a common opponent in my podcast partner, Jouban. That's how I first actually met you, and you guys had the fight of the night when you first came out, and I remember that whole thing because obviously, I was rooting for my boy, and you guys had an incredible fight. I just remember the whole time, what is this dude's chin made of, dear God? And Alan broke his hand in the fight, and I thought, he won early rounds, but you just kept coming. So we're at the fight, run, just run, and you guys had such an incredible fight. You got fight of the night, and he told me, that afterwards you guys were cool with each other. You found out you had fight of the night, and that was such a cool thing. But, you guys had a common opponent. Niko was able to beat him. You didn't win the fight with Alan. Did you look at anything before, though, in preparation for that to try to just see what maybe he did that you didn't do in that fight and that something you could implement against him?
I think it was just one of those where I watched that fight. Jouban just basically slipped up. He threw without punches. Yeah. It was just a mistake. It was nothing Niko's not one of those guys where you're like, man, this guy got amazing kickboxing or amazing grappling or amazing. He's I feel like he's more of a Darren Elkins where he's coming to fight and then he doesn't have the prettiest form or prettiest what's called, but he gets the wins.
Yeah.
And he always comes to fight, and he always like never gives up. So it was one of those where I knew I was gonna have a scrap on my hands with Niko. So it wasn't really, man, I got to prepare for his striking or prepare for his power or grappling. I was like, he's a fighter, so I know I'm gonna come to bank with that one. I know I was gonna have a tough test in front of me.
Right. So what actually is under the beard? Like, what is your chin made of?
Yeah, I chew a lot of gum, so I don't know.
No, it's crazy. I mean, you can take a punch, and I wonder, is it one of those things where, when you were younger, you found out, hey, shoot, I can take a punch, I should fight? Or did you start to train fighting and then realize you could take a punch?
No, I mean, I always tell everybody, I'm from Chicago, so I've been in a bunch of street fights, so I've been around. So like I said, like even with the whole game planning stuff like that, it's like you don't game plan before a street fight. So I know that whoever's in front of me, I'm not going to sit there, dang, I didn't game plan for this guy that just met on the street that wants to fight me for a second.
Right.
So it really matter who's in front of me. And then I just one of those where I knew I was able to fight. So I was always tough. I knew I could hold my own against anybody. It doesn't matter what size they were. So it's one of those where I knew I had it in me no matter what.
Cool. Do you watch a lot of World Star?
Yeah. Well, I used to work in a cell phone store, and it would be like I'm working 9-hour days just sitting there on a computer all day, and I would just World Star all day. Yeah.
That stuff is so bad, and every time I watch it, I feel kind of dirty. You know what I mean? I feel like I shouldn't be watching this, but I can't help it.
Yeah, you can't. You have to sit there and watch all the videos all day, and you can sit there and go through like 20 videos before you realize it.
Totally. Or if you just follow Derek Lewis on Instagram, that's all one or the other. That dude is hilarious. You are on a 3-fight win streak right now. So I don't know if that's something that, when a fighter's in a position like that, or like when a fighter's undefeated, is it something they really consciously think about and think about protecting and keep moving forward? Or do you not even sort of look behind you? Are you always kind of an ahead guy and don't really think about the win streak?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really think about the win streak at all. It's basically your toughest test is your next fight, no matter what, no matter who it is. Yeah. I mean, that like nobody really remembers your last fight. They're only going to remember the fight that's in front of you. So once I have a fight signed, like I don't think about anything else but that fight. So it's not like, dang, I got a 3-fight win streak. Man, why would I want to take a chance of fighting a new guy for? And, like I don't want to be one of those guys, even if I get into the rankings where if I see it, like you see all these ranked fighters nowadays saying no to all these fighters or guys come on the come up. Like in the old days, it'll be like, man, this guy's on a 3-fight or 4-fight winning streak. Let's put him against another guy on a 4-fight win streak. Yeah. Nowadays, it's, wait, he doesn't have a number next to his name. I'm not going to fight him. What am I going to lose my place in the rankings for? Right. But I want to be one of those guys that whenever they call me, it's an exciting fight. I'll take it. So if it's a fight that makes sense, why not?
Well, that's cool because, it is so tricky. And you see a guy like Kamaru who now has an 8-fight win streak, I believe, in the division, who I know does have a hard time getting opponents. And it is all about those sort of rankings and win streaks. Those play into things more because, if we're being honest, I don't think too many people would have thought a guy like Colby was that close to a title shot. But he was able to win a good fight against Damian and work the microphone the right way, I guess, and kind of help get himself there. So with that said, if you just keep winning, that doesn't necessarily guarantee stuff for you, right? So do you feel a conscious effort like, shoot, I got to get more clever on the microphone. I got to do this, I got to do that to bolster what my record is speaking?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the entertainment business, so you gotta get your name out there with it, if it's either with your fighting style or try to get on the microphone. Like you see guys like Tony Ferguson, he had to fight 9 fights, 9-fight win streak. I mean, he's terrible on the microphone. He tries, but he's terrible.
I love Tony though. I got a soft spot for Tony. I think he's the right kind of crazy, but yeah, he sometimes doesn't flow.
Yeah, like we're him. Like he has the craziest great fights, but it took him 9 fights to get to a title fight. Just because he didn't have that personality or like the mic skills. Right. But then you got like a moron like Colby Covington where he'll throw all morals away just to get to the top. So like he'll sit there, talk about a whole country, like you could tell it's not really him. Right. It's him playing act. But like, I mean, it throws everything away, like your beliefs and stuff like that. And I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation. So it's one of those where I know I need to go in there, get finishes. And when the time is right, hopefully, like I'm hoping that like there'd be like an injury and like a ranked fight, and then I could always step up because I'm not one of those guys that gets heavy, and I'm always ready to take a fight. So like even with the Kamaru Usman fight, when his guy pulled out, I was like, hey, I'm down to take that fight. The Neil Magny fight, I was like, dude, I'm down to take that fight. Yeah. So it's one of those where I just want to stay ready for anybody.
Now I guess with Neil, I mean, because that's this weekend, and then they probably felt like it's weird because you had a fight that's like, which one do you protect, right? Which fight do you save? Which one do you? That would have been cool though, you and Neil Magny or Kamaru. That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
It's tough, and it is interesting. I feel like, Colby is an easy person to sort of pick on or use as an example. But, with me, I'm less upset by what he does. I'm more upset by the fact that it works on some people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting there like, man, does he seriously have fans? Like, you'll sit there and, like, you'll comment something on this thing, and then you'll have, like, 50 people, like, come at you hard, and you're like, you guys seriously follow this guy?
Right.
What?
But, the thing that kind of makes me crazy about that is it's so transparent to me. It seems such an obviously scripted persona that it is frustrating that it works. Then I found you, I don't know what interview it was I saw, and I was like, how come nobody knows Belal's hilarious? Like, I found you very funny, and I didn't know that. But you let it out on Twitter sometimes, but you don't really, is it that you don't have an opportunity to be on the mic as much, or why don't you let that side of you out a little bit more?
Yeah, it's one of those where once I get the opportunity, hopefully I get more mic time. Like, I literally had 6 fights in the UFC, only been on a mic once. So,
right.
I mean, it'd just be cool just to you just got to get in that opportunity, and you just got to take advantage of it when it's your time. So,
right. Yeah, well, we do remember the name. I mean, we definitely do after a while. So, going into this fight in Utica, like I said, you got a 3-fight win streak. Do you have somebody in mind? It does kind of make us a little bit crazy sometimes when we watch people and I'll give them anybody that they want, and I understand that idea of staying ready so you don't have to get ready. And yeah, I'm just ready to knock the next guy off. But I would imagine that you do think of people with whom you'd have a great matchup, right?
Yeah. Always. I'm always watching it. Like, you have guys saying, "Oh, I don't watch the division. I don't pay attention to this," but I'm watching the division. I'm always looking at people just because, I may fight them one day. So It's always, my eyes are always open, and I always have guys in my mind of who I want to see next. And I'm actually looking at the winner or the loser of the Cerrone Westcall fight. I feel like that would be a good one. And I'm pretty sure the winner's going to sit there, I only want to fight up. So, the loser will be perfect for me too. Or honestly, if everything works out perfectly for me, Colby would go in there, get killed real quick by Dos Anjos, and he want a quick turnaround fight. So you think, oh man, let me get a quick turnaround fight. Oh, this guy's not ranked. Let me fight him.
Right.
Then I'll go in there, beat him up, and then UFC cuts him, and then everybody's happy. So
and you're the hero. Okay, I get it. It's amazing to me how many people want to see him just get his face just smashed, which is wild.
Yeah, dude. That's what I said. Like, exactly. Like, if you're gonna sit there and come like when Conor does it, Conor's coming at the fighter, and like Conor, it's like original with him. Right. When Colby does it, he's coming at him hard. He's like just coming at everybody for no reason. He's coming at Mackenzie Dern. I'm like, you're coming at a girl. She's not even division. What's wrong with you? Like, you're just being so dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's sacred, I guess. Again, like, we're talking about him, so clearly it's working to a degree. I just feel like, what if he makes it to the top? Can you sustain that? I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, but I don't think his skill level is gonna, like, he picked the right fights to get him to this level, but I think Dos Anjos is gonna eat him up a little bit and kind of go out there and really show that he doesn't belong there.
So when you do look at your division, I work with Tyron all the time, and you have trained with him at Roufus, and he has nothing but great things to say about you. But when you do look at that division, how long do you think T Wood could actually stay champ?
Man, honestly, I think he could be up there for a while. Yeah. Like, the next guys coming up, who do you have? You have like Kamaru and Colby that are like probably the next in line.
And Steven and Till are fighting this weekend. Wonder Boy and Till.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, but like I said, like Wonder Boy really lost him twice already, so he doesn't really have nothing facing him. And then like his next one will be the winner of Dos Anjos and Covington. But like I feel like neither one of them guys are really going to give him a chance. I think if Covington wins, he knocks out Covington. Yeah. Dos Anjos wins. I think Dos Anjos is too small. Like, I saw him, like, I've been in person with Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos is tiny.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like he could sit there and sustain it for probably like 3 or 4 more fights.
Yeah.
Before I get up there and then, we start talking.
Nice. Well, it would have to be for a title, right? Because otherwise teammates don't like to fight each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of another teammate of yours, how's our boy CM Punk looking?
Yeah, honestly, he's looking really good, man. A lot of people sit there and hate on the guy, but he's putting in the work. He's sitting there at every practice with us, going hard. He's really came a long way from his first fight. And, honestly, in his first fight, a lot of people don't give him credit for anything, but look what Mickey Gall did to Sage Northcutt. Sage Northcutt was a real fighter, and he went in there and treated him like an amateur, and that was CM Punk's first fight. People don't know how hard a first fight is. Like when I was an amateur, he didn't have no amateur fights. He didn't have to go through any of that circuit. He literally was on the big stage first fight, and he went against a brown belt who like didn't give him any chance. So I feel like this is a better matchup for him to show his skills and show how much he's learned since he started.
Yeah, I think he's a great guy. I'm not really into pro wrestling, so I just met him as a nice guy. You know what I mean? Backstage, I think it was with Chael or something. You know, we were working on something, and so I hope he does great. I want him to do great, and that was the whole thing. Is, you know, when they put him in there, it was a real fight. Like if you had just given him somebody who would never threaten to take down, everybody would have said, "Oh, well, you just gave him somebody." You know what I mean? That wasn't going to be enough of a challenge. So he really kind of was in a no-win situation in a way.
Yeah. But I mean, people are going to hate no matter what. They're never going to give anybody any credit. Like if he goes in here right now, like I feel like he's going to go in there and piece up Mike Jackson. He's going to beat him real bad. And then what are people going to say? Oh, he fought a reporter. He didn't fight a real fighter. So like, nobody's ever going to be satisfied. So like in his mindset, that's the biggest thing about him, where he doesn't really care. He's one of those guys that said, I don't care. If I get the win, I get the that's all that matters to me is me getting the win. I don't care if people are going to hate on me no matter what.
Right.
So you got to just have that mindset, because you could sit there and save a dog, and people will sit there and be like, wait, what do you mean you saved the dog? Why would you save a dog? People are just crazy.
It's true. Plus, I'll tell you, some of us reporters are pretty scrappy, Belal. Come at me, bro. So listen, I'm really excited to finally get a chance to talk to you. I'm sure you're thrilled as well. But you've really been putting together a great fight career. You know, like you're taking out dudes like Jordan Me, and he's massive. You know, he's huge. I mean, I'm sure you kind of realize that too. You're like, damn, the guy's massive. But to date, have you had a win that's been your favorite so far in the UFC?
Honestly, my last fight, I felt like with my favorite one, Tim Means. Just because when I first got into the UFC, honestly, he was like one of the guys where I said, all right, I'll fight anybody, but not Tim Means, just because he has like one of the slickest striking, and his elbows nasty, and I was like, I don't want to sit there and strike with a guy like that. But then I went in there and I outstruck the guy and beat him at his own game. So I felt good with that fight, and I felt like it put me over the board of my confidence.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I know you said you would stay ready and stuff, if all goes well on June 1st. How quickly do you think you could fight again? Let's say you coming out of that one healthy.
Honestly, man, I was hoping to get on the July card, or even I know they're coming to Wisconsin in September. I heard, so hopefully I'll get one of those Midwest cards. So that'll be perfect for me since I didn't get on Chicago one.
Wisconsin. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Well, listen, best of luck to you. And I know, for those of us on this end of it going, oh no, he's got a new opponent, but you seem pretty chill about it. It doesn't seem to affect you. So just go in there, I guess, and do business, right?
Yeah, another day at the office.
Awesome. Well, Belal, thank you so much for taking the time. Like I said, I've really been wanting to talk to you, and I'm finally glad that we made this happen.
Yeah, for sure. Really appreciate it.
Cool. All right. Take it easy.
See you later. Talk to you.